Hi guys, Arthur here from Homeowner DIY. In this video, I'm going to be installing a dishwasher. So I'm going to remove the old one and then install the new one. Now for the most part, dishwashers are pretty comparable. They need power, water, and a drain. So with that in mind, I mean, other than some things that you may come across, what you're going to see here will cover most reputable manufacturers. So what we'll do now is we'll look at our setup and then we'll do material and tools. So this is a Maytag dishwasher. The kitchen is on the right. That is where we're going to take our water and we're going to connect our drain to. So this is our new Samsung dishwasher. This will be our replacement. So the model number I'm pointing to now. So this is the rest of the material list. So I have a braided line. I have a PEX by threaded adapter that I need specifically on this job. I have two dishwasher wires. These are the two styles. I need this first one here, and this is the other style just for visual purposes. And then this is the clips and the screws that come with the dishwasher. The dishwasher does not have a new clamp for the drain for whatever reason. Alright, this is the tools list. So I have my finishing kit. So Crescent wrench, box end wrenches. Specifically for this job because there is electrical. I have wire strippers and then a volt stick, or also known as an electrical tester. Now on this job, because I did something really funky, I have crimpers. What I needed to do here was adapt from PEX to threaded for a standard dishwasher hookup. We'll talk about this at the end of the video. I have my cordless kit, so drill and bits. I have a light extension cord, and then I have my pouch. So PEX cutters, level, tin snips, whatever else I might need. Guys, this is what I need for tools on this job. So let's get started. So the brass on the left, that's the water hookup with the wingback 90, and the box on the right with the 3 horizontal orange bars, that is the electrical hookup. For the breaker, number 19 is the dishwasher. Don't use the diagram to count off breakers. Go by the number that's in between the breakers, or on the left side in this case. So the first thing to do is to take the 2 top screws. These are Phillips. They're always Phillips. Take these out so the unit can be slid out from its space in the cabinets. So before I disconnect the dishwasher, I'm just confirming power is off. Green light is still on. That means the circuit is no longer active. In this example of professional work, there's a shutoff in the middle. The hammer arrestor is a copper vertical piece to the right. And then they went around 90 back around for the supply. So I'm shutting off the valve, and where I'm pointing is where I'm going to cut the pipe to put on the PEX by threaded adapter for the braid line I'm going to install. I decided that I'm going to cut the pipe between the 2 pipes that come up, and this is going to allow enough space to get a wrench on if the dishwasher needs to be removed for whatever reason. If an appliance tech came to this, I'm sure that they would not be prepared for what they have to deal with. But I have some paper towel on hand just to soak up any water. This is the carburetor. I've already removed the clamp with some channel locks, and all that needs to happen is the drain needs to just be pulled away from the carburetor. If you don't have a carburetor, you're going to have a dishwasher Y. Here are the channel locks that I used to loosen off the clamp. With the mounting screws, water and drain disconnected, the dishwasher should be able to slide out fairly easy now. So just grab the door and move it back and forth. The only thing left connected is the power, which we are going to address next. So this is the power box that has the wire that goes into it. The screw on the right is what holds the cover on. It has a Torx on the inside, and then a hex, a typical socket on the outside. So we have our wires. So the black is hot, the white is neutral, and then the bare wire is ground. So disconnecting, do the hot first, the neutral second, and then the ground last. With the Rachet removed, the wire's not going to be able to pull out because in the middle of the grommet, the plastic grommet, there is, I guess, a door, if you will. So what I'm going to try to do is open the door to be able to get the wire out of this grommet. Now this grommet needs to be there because if it's not and a live wire touches the casing, you can technically energize the dishwasher. That is why by electrical code the grommet needs to be there. Alright, so this is the bottom of the dishwasher. You have the PEX with the crimp and then a wingback 90, which I'm pointing to now. So if you want to remove this dishwasher, you'd have to cut the PEX pipe and then couple it back together. So this is a dishwasher 90 that I'm holding right now, and this is the proper fitting to use. This is the other type of dishwasher 90 that I'm not going to use in this case. So these are the two mounting brackets at the top. Pretty much every dishwasher will have these mounting brackets for the top. You can screw in somewhere else if you want to, depending on the manufacturer. But put the clip in and then make sure that the little tab goes through the hole on the back side. So here's the other one, and you see the tab sticking through the back of the hole. And this is all that's going to keep the dishwasher in place. So the white plastic piece on the right side, that is the connection for this model. So I'm taking the dishwasher 90 and I'm going to thread it onto the dishwasher supply. So there is a rubber gasket on the inside of the dishwasher supply, so you don't need Teflon tape. But tighten the two down until they stop as tight as you can, and that should be perfectly fine. For the other end of the dishwasher 90, the white cap will be removed, and then the other end will be tightened on to the dishwasher unit itself. So this end also has a rubber gasket inside, so hand tighten it as much as you can, and then take some channel lock, some water pump pliers, and then tighten it once again until it stops. Make sure that there's no kinks and you don't have any type of angle that may impede flow of water once the unit has been installed. So I'm looking at the space between the dishwasher and the cabinet. You can see that the top needs to go back in so they're parallel. To level and plumb the dishwasher, these feet can be unscrewed. So there's 4 feet and they can all be adjusted as necessary. So this is the power box on the new unit. So there's a screw to the left. The hole is where the grommet will go. The channel is the wire that's going to go from the back of the unit to the very front. So I'm removing the screw to be able to remove the cover. It just clips on the opposite side of the bracket for the box itself. This is the grommet. You can see how the door on the grommet is on an angle, so the wire goes in one way but not the other. So I'm going to cut the ends of the wires off that have a solder, and then I'm going to strip about a 1/2 inch back from the wires. So these wires are actually a bunch of small strands of copper, so just twist them together so they act as one big wire opposed to a bunch of little strands, and you'll get a better connection when you put the Rachet on. With the wire pulled to the front, I'm putting the grommet on, and once again this is directional, so put the grommet on and have the little door that is on the white sheathing, not on the wires itself. Once that this has been connected, the grommet can be put into the hole for the box, and then you can connect the wires from the unit to the power supply from the wall. So connecting the unit, I would do the ground first, and that's going to go underneath this green screw. This is a tough place to work because there's not much space. Once the ground has been done, I'll do the neutral, Once the neutral is done, I will finish with the hot. This is what an electrician told me to do. When you are going to reconnect, do the hot last. With the barrettes on, this is going to have to fit inside the cover, so make sure that you compress everything where it's going to fit without issue. So here are the two tabs that go on the right, so it's going to hook onto the right, and then the screw on the left side is going to be tightened, and that's going to hold the cover for the electrical supply on for the unit. So here's the braided line. I'm going to put the threaded by PEX adapter. I think it's easier to thread the two on together first before crimping the other end on to the PEX. So this is a 5/8 open-ended wrench, and then I'm going to use a Crescent wrench on the other side. Once again, tighten it down until it stops. There's no such thing as too tight. So this is our transition. It's been tightened all the way down, and the PEX ring has been crimped, so this is now done. So now I'm going to connect the drain onto the outlet for the carburetor. Put the clamp on first using channel locks. This is the clamp. Put the drain all the way on as far as you can, and then center the clamp. Once that is done, give it a tug to make sure that it's nice and solid, and then make sure that the drain hose is at the very top, just underneath the countertop. That's what I'm checking for here. You don't want any sag. You want the connection to the carburetor to be the low point, otherwise you're going to have puddling water, and then grease and other debris is going to start to build up. So now water can be turned back on. So just open the valve, and you should hear the water flow through and stop within a second or two. Once the water is silent, so it's not flowing anymore, check the threaded by PEX adapter for any evidence of a leak, but it should be fine. Now back at the breaker, we're going to turn the power back on and test the dishwasher. So I've tested the dishwasher, everything seems fine. So for these brackets, I'm going to use tin snips to cut the very end off, and I'm going to try to bend it up and then put a screw in. Now a dishwasher doesn't really move very much, so the screws that they provide you are very short. They're 3/4 of an inch or an inch, so they're really going to only hold a dishwasher in place for when you open and close the door. Once the screws have been put in, open and close the door. Give the unit a shake to make sure that it's nice and solid and it's not rocking, or you don't hear anything out of the ordinary. Alright guys, so that concludes this job. So on this job specifically, the wingback 90 for the water, I've never seen this done before. I don't know if they just ran out of fittings. I don't know why you do it like this. The problem is, if you're not using a threaded braided line, and if you need to get this thing fixed, I'm sure the appliance tech is not going to have crimpers and rings on hand. I carried extra stuff just in case because I ran into so many issues over the years. But this is the first time I've ever seen this. It's not against code per se, but this is definitely not the way to do this because it's not serviceable. If you just have two threaded connections, it's very easy with some wrenches to take them apart. But in this case, you'd have to cut it, couple it, and then crimp it back together. Now, the one other thing on this install was the brackets at the top. I would have liked to bend them like nice and tight, but I wasn't able to do that in this case. Now, the screws are just going to hold the dishwasher in place for when you open and close the door. Otherwise, it basically freestands there. When you install the dishwasher, look at it from the side. Make sure that the front of the dishwasher is parallel with the cabinet doors. If it's not going to look good. Left to right, make sure that it is relatively level, and look at the top of the door and the edge of the countertop and make sure they're parallel when the door is closed so it'll look better. The time on this job. If I didn't film anything, I could do this in probably about an hour and a half. I mean, I didn't run into any hiccups other than the water, which I wasn't prepared for. The cost of this job. The braided line, the PEX by threaded adapter, The dishwasher were about $700 in total. That's what the homeowner said. They supplied the dishwasher, but the dishwasher line and a couple other things I had to supply myself, but those are negligible. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope something here is going to help you on your project when you need to go ahead and do that. Guys, till next time, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next project.